All right. I think we are live. Had a little bit of a glitch there. So now I'm going to be relying on you guys to let me know if we are, in fact, live. Yeah, always got to be something, right? I was getting ready to broadcast this, and it came up and said, well, you're not connected anymore to Facebook. That was cool. Looks like I am, though. So, Phil, what's up, man? Let's see. Salma, what's up? Hello, hello. Good. Okay, good. That's meaning that we're recording and we are live. And if you're watching this on the replay, then it's recorded. So hey, happy Thanksgiving. Well, yesterday. Happy Black Friday and the kickoff to the official shopping season, which is always exciting for sellers and companies that are they're really counting on this time of year. I know that myself and my wife used to years ago in the photography business, like this was like a really, really busy time for us. And that's where we kind of made all of our money to kind of carry us through the winter months. It's kind of always, you're trying to capitalize on this time. And I did a whole coffee talk the other day on how to come up with an MVP offer, and then also how to sell it, like how to promote it in a few different ways. So today, though, we are going to be doing our normally scheduled jam session. And what I decided to talk about was a question that came up in our last coffee talk. And that was, should I start with building an email list before I create the digital product? And I've got some thoughts on this. And if it was me, I'll give you what I would do. I think they're both very, very important. They both play a great role. But the very first thing that we need to understand is we need to understand what market we're serving. All right. So let me just get that out of the way. Now, before we do jump in, it is Black Friday. If you're watching this on Black Friday, or maybe it's on Saturday or Sunday, or maybe it's Cyber Monday. But right now, we do have something special that we are offering for you and anyone else watching that wants to take advantage of something we put together just for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, although the lowest price will be today on Black Friday. And then what we're going to do is increase the price until Monday. And that is our Ultimate Brand Creators Bundle. And I'm going to put the link up here real quick. If you're at all interested, go ahead to that link and you'll see it's a very basic checkout page. It says what's included. I'll go through that here real quick, but if you go to brandcreators.com/bundle 2020, it'll take you to that checkout page and that order page. And basically what we're doing here is we're giving away the playbook, the audio version of that, the workbook that was created for this, and then a 3-hour niche validation masterclass. So that normally sells for, I think, $38, $39 for all of that. So you're getting that. You're also getting the email list building fast track workshop. You're also getting the digital creation fast track workshop, which each of those right now currently is $37 a piece. So it's $112.99. But today, and today only, it's $50. So pretty good deal. And I literally just had a message come through after I sent out an email. And let me see if I've got that handy here. It'd be interesting to kind of read that. What I took a screenshot because I wanted to share it later. Yeah, it was actually John had sent this. He said, man, that is quite the screaming deal. Too bad I already have all these toys. The only thing better than this would be if you were paying them to take it. Wink. So I guess what he's saying is like the only thing else I can do rather than just give it to you or pay for it for you, there's nothing really better than this. It's a pretty good deal. And he said it's a screaming deal and he has all of these products. So that's what's happening today for us. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I did want to let you know if you're at all interested, that will be there. I'm going to leave that up on the screen the entire time, just so that way there it's easy to find if you decide you want to go check it out. That's what's happening there. The other thing that's happening, and this is a little bit behind the scenes, is I have just sent out some private invitations to people that have requested to join Brand Creators Academy. As you know, we're closed. We are not opening to the public. We are only opening to private invitations or people that have qualified. And the way that you qualify is either you've went through one of our workshops or you've applied and filled out a short little application. You will receive an email today. If you did not receive an email, but you did go ahead through one of those workshops or you did apply, check your promotions tab, check your spam folder. I did just send it. So it's there in your inbox. It will say special private invitation, and then it will explain a little bit about what we're doing there and how you can get access to join. All right. So again, if you are at all interested in joining Brand Creators Academy and you already went through a workshop or you already applied, look for that email today. It should be there now, but make sure that you go check your inbox. All right. So that is that. So let's go ahead and see here again. I'm going to make sure we're still going here because we had a little bit of a problem. Michael, what's up, Michael? Good to see you, man. I had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for asking. And yes, we did great. I don't know about you guys, but I've been eating clean, really clean. And then yesterday I did not eat clean. I ate whatever I wanted to. I give myself that cheat day, and that was a cheat day. But man, I'll tell you what, I pay for it. Felt terrible this morning when I got up. I felt sluggish, but was it worth it? Yeah, it was. The apple pie at the end was really good. So yeah, I guess it was worth it. The scalloped potatoes, yeah, I enjoyed them, but I didn't enjoy it after the fact. So, but yeah, we had a great day. And now today we're going to be switching gears here and starting to put up some Christmas decorations. My wife already started in the house. Now we got to go on the outside. So we'll be doing that today. What's up, Jana? Good morning to you. I think that is, who is that? It doesn't show the name, just says Facebook user. Tony, what's up, man? If anybody knows of a good Black Friday deal, please post them here. Well, there's one right here, Tony. It's right there, brandcreators.com/bundle 2020. No, I'm just kidding. But cool. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. If you guys see something that's worthwhile, you're more than welcome to post it. I would just encourage you, do not just grab something because it's a great deal and it's going to distract you. Just don't do that. Please don't do that. D, what's up? Good morning. Great bundle. Yeah. And you know what, D, as a Brand Creators Academy member, I know that that's you. You guys get all that stuff and so much more. We have a call actually today at 5:00 p.m. Eastern time. But D, I wanted to give you a little shout out. I want to say thank you so much for that amazing post that you did inside of the Academy. It was pretty awesome. And it's just really cool to see the impact that, yes, we're having, but that you're having and just on each other. It's just always great to see. Excuse me. Idarius, I think I pronounced that right. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, another fun day for me. Yeah, of course. Decorating for Christmas is fun. My daughter's super excited. So yeah, we're excited. All right, cool. So let's get to it. We're going to kick this off. You guys know this is a jam session. So the way that we're going to do this is I am going to pause for a minute. I'm going to kick it in, and then we're going to get this thing started. So this will turn into a podcast episode. The topic is going to be, should I create an email list first or a digital product first? Which one should I create, or is there a right order that I should create? So that's what we're going to be talking about. All right. So let's get rocking and rolling. And let me go ahead and get my little notes up here. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Take a sip of coffee. And here we go. All right, welcome back to another jam session. Super excited you're here. If you are here live, well, thank you for being here live. If you're listening to this on the podcast, well, you're not here live, really, but you kind of are. But we are hanging out here this Friday morning, and we do this to answer any questions, but also really dive into one question that might have come up in the past or a few times. So this way here we can address it. And today we are going to be talking about something that has come up a few different times. And that is, Scott, should I start creating my email list first and then the digital product, or should I do the digital product first and then the email list? Which order should I do them in? And is there a proper order? So that's what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to be opening this up for some Q&A. So of course, if you're here live, this is the time for you to start dropping questions in, and we can go ahead and answer them here live. And then on the podcast, people can listen in on that. But I do want to put a little reminder out there for anyone that is listening on the podcast. We would love to have you here. And the way that you can join us, or even just go back to all of the past ones and do a search and see what you want to learn more about or hear more about, you just go to takeactioncrew.com. If you go to takeactioncrew.com, you're going to find myself there with a little video that will, well, a few videos, but a video that will show you all of the different coffee talks that we've done. And there's a really cool, a really smart player there that it will, what it'll do is it will actually take you through all of the coffee talks. All you need to do is use the little magnifying glass, and it will search through all of the transcripts from those coffee talks. So we're talking, what's there now, about 150? I think this is 170. So yeah, there's a lot. And so if you want to know more about building an email list, you can just put, how to create my lead magnet. You put that in there, you're going to see any instance that I actually talked about that in all of the coffee talks. And then what it'll do is it'll find the video in the specific spot of where I talk about that. So it's pretty cool. So go check it out. TakeActionCrew.com. You'll also find a bonus live coffee talk that I did with my VIP people over in, where were we? We were in Texas, and we were doing our Brand Accelerator live. So that was 2019, but that was a live coffee talk that we recorded for the podcast, and you can listen in on that and watch that. I put it up there as a little free bonus for all of my Take Action Crew members, and that's you. So yeah, if you guys want to hang out with me, takeactioncrew.com, and you'll be able to do that. All right. So let's go ahead and dig in. All right. So what should I do first? Should I start building my email list, or should I create my digital product first? Okay. So let's talk about these two areas. They're both very, very important. And I would say there's also another question that comes up and says, Scott, should I build my website first? If I haven't built that, should I do that first before I build my email list and my digital product? And, we could probably say, well, yeah, you probably should have that at least in place. I do like to have your digital, real estate built. I think that you should have at least the foundation, and I think that you should have some, a few pieces of content on there. And the reason why is because then we are able to, once we build the email list, we have a place to send them. Okay. So the reason why, and I'm assuming that that's already done. Let's say that the website is already built, and I don't care if it's with like 3 different articles on it. That's fine. That's still done. Okay. Well, not done, but it's built, right? Like we've built the foundation. We've built some of the house, right? And now we're just going to continually add to the house and improve the house and make it better and stronger and all of those things, right? But the email list is really, really the next piece in this, because we can now take the email list and then send them to our content. So it doesn't matter if we have something to sell yet. We immediately can take that traffic and drive it right over to our website, which is great. Okay. So the email list to me is one of those things that we want to do as soon as possible. Now, if you have no desire, okay, to build an email list or create a digital product, and you're just creating a content site that's going to get organic traffic, and then you're going to turn that into an ad revenue, as far as like you're going to put Ezoic on there, or you're going to put Mediavine on there, or you're going to put AdThrive on there. If that's your play, then no, you don't really need an email list, and it does take work to maintain the email list. Perfect example is we have 2 brands that we're building as case studies inside of Brand Creators Academy. One of them we did as a case study to build the email list. We built the first email list over 9,000 using a giveaway. The second one we did as a case study for our email list building fast track workshop. And we used the lead magnet, and we built our list there to about 900. I think it was 800 or 900. And so that there was more of us doing it as a case study, but also because we are sending them people to our website. The second brand, we have not yet really started building an email list. Now, I say not really. We did put an opt-in on there because it's pretty simple to do, but we aren't really communicating with this list. And there's maybe a couple hundred people on the list, but it's just nothing really that we're doing other than just putting up a lead magnet on that website. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because you can start without building the email list and just do the content side and then eventually add it, which we're about ready to do. We have a couple other things that we're working on inside of that brand that will also help us now to write emails, and also a reason why we would want to. And one of the other reasons why I didn't do the email list first on that one is because it takes work. And to be honest with you, I didn't have the time. So I'm like, I'm building this one over here as a case study with an email list. I got to write at least one email a week, plus all the content. And I've got another one over here I'm doing as a case study, but I did that one exclusively as I'm just going to do, the content side of things. That's all I'm going to do. But now we're starting to, say, hey, maybe we're going to do an email list there. And then obviously I have brand creators, which, I send out, a few emails a week there. I used to send all the emails in our brand that we sold. That one's sold now, so I don't have to do that anymore. That was 3 emails a week. So that's no longer happening. So it does come down to a time issue for you. So if you are, it's the only person that can answer this is you. Okay. Do you have your website up and running, and are you feeding it content? Are you planting seeds every single week? Question number 1. Okay. If you are, then I would say you're probably ready to start building that email list. If you at least have your website up, your domain picked, you're hosting there, you have, a few articles, then I'd say, yeah, you're ready for the email list. If you don't have that, I wouldn't just build an email list to just build it and then send them to other people's stuff. You can do that, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Have I seen others do it? Yes, but I think you're always going to want to drive them to a piece of your own real estate. Okay. So that's something we have to think about. So if it was me, the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that I have my website set up. Okay. And I have a few pieces of content on it. The minute I have that done, I can just let that sit if I want to. And then I would move into building an email list. Okay. Now, I did not say that I would then start building the digital product yet. And the reason why is because the email list is going to help me. It's going to help me decide what to create as a digital product, because I can send what we call a naked email. And if you did not see that, that episode that I did, or the coffee talk that I did, you might want to go to takeactioncrew.com, and you can search through there and search naked email, and you'll find it. And it's not someone naked in the email, by the way. It's actually just, there's not any links in it, and there's not any images in it. It's just basically a very lean and light email that will get through the spam traps and all of that fun stuff. But it's also a way for us to get, feedback and replies, and them to tell us what they want. Then we can take that information and create a digital product with that. So that's why I would start with the email list if I'm thinking about building the digital product. Okay. Because then also I have an email list that I can sell the product to the minute that I have it ready. Okay. Now, one thing I would say is when you're in the email list building stage, we do want to think a little bit further down the line, as far as if we're building that list using a lead magnet, okay, something that someone would raise their hand for because they want more on that. I would like that also to be something that would lead them to a digital product that's related to that. Okay. So I'll give you an example. The brand creators playbook. There is a checklist that is out there right now that you can go to, and you can go and put your name and email address in for. Okay. It's free. That checklist, okay, is basically setting people up that if that checklist checks out, get it? Checklist checks out. It basically will say, okay, I validated everything through this checklist. I know that I can build a brand. It's validated now. Now what's the next step? Right here. All the steps are in here. So the playbook is a natural next step. Okay. If you were teaching someone how to catch more bass in a pond, you might give them 5 things to avoid while trying to catch bass in a pond. And now they're like, okay, well, I want to know what to avoid. But then naturally they're going to want to know what to do, right? Or how to do things better by catching bass in a pond. Okay. And so that guide that you might create might be the ultimate guide for catching bass in a pond. Okay. So we always want that product to have a way to do a lead magnet that would lead to it. Okay. So I'm always thinking of it as that. Okay. Now we have other things like our email list building fast track workshop. We don't have a free lead magnet on that. We may or may not. We're driving paid traffic to that right now because it is a front end offer. There is a little bit of a back end offer, and then it naturally would lead people to Brand Creators Academy. But right now we're testing not doing a free lead magnet on that one. We may in the future, but we're not. So what I'm trying to say here is we always want to be thinking about what is a small win for someone that they'd be able to take that would lead them to that digital product. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you're thinking about building your list, you want to think about that lead magnet. And if that lead magnet is the right lead magnet and people are converting on that, meaning that they're converting at 20 to 25% or more, then naturally on the back end, we can start giving them an offer on the thank you page. And that offer would be our digital product. See, so I would not start with the digital product, but I would have the digital product in mind, meaning that lead magnet would just be a small part or a thing that they would need to do first before they would want to do the full, ebook or the full e-course or whatever. Okay. So that's always what I'm thinking about. So I would say, and again, I'm taking it that you already have your website up with a few pieces of content, email list. Let's think about the lead magnet. When we're thinking about the lead magnet, what is it and what would be the natural next step for them in that, that process, right? So think about it as like a timeline. You've got someone here and they want to learn how to play guitar. That's a big jump. What do they need to learn first? Well, maybe there is 3 chords that you can teach them, okay, that will make them be able to strum the guitar easier because that they have to strum, they have to tune their guitar, they have to learn how to pick a little bit, but maybe we're just going to focus on strumming. So maybe in the first thing, it's like, 3 chords you'll learn in the next, 36 hours and be able to play 3 songs in the next 7 days, right? Maybe that's it. And then the first thing that you're going to give them as the free thing is basically you're going to teach them how to tune their guitar, but then you're going to show them one of those chords and you're going to tell them to master it. And then you're going to say, on the next one, you're going to do this. And the next one, you're going to do this. And by the end of that, they've now seen that they can do it. And you've proven to them that you can teach them how to do it. What's the next thing? Maybe it's a full ebook with 50 more chords, right? That'll allow them to play hundreds of songs. See? So we just graduate them to that next thing, but we have to know where they're headed and we got to make it easy for them to achieve. Okay. We need to make it easy for them to achieve. So going back to the original question, Scott, what should I create first? The email list or the digital product? And I think I kind of made my point. I think the email list, but with that in mind, we still need to be thinking lead magnet. How does that lead to the digital product eventually? So we do want to be thinking about the digital product. It doesn't mean we have to create it yet. So we have people right now that have went through the email list building fast track workshop. They've went through the digital product creation fast track workshop. And now they're thinking to themselves, well, I don't have my email list yet. I want to launch my digital product. So I'm going to start with the email list. But now that they understand the digital product side of things, they can think a little bit clearer about their lead magnet, because that lead magnet is critical to set that person up in a sense, in a cool way, not a negative way, to where they would want to naturally buy the thing. Okay. So really both are really, really important. But the email list would be my first thing. And the other question that I get a lot of times too is like, Scott, well, how much should I spend to build my email list? I'm a fan of like getting to 500 subscribers is probably a good solid number. And I think anyone can get to that within 30 days or less. If you're running a giveaway or a contest, you can get to that very, very quickly. But the leads are not as qualified. They're still good. They're just not as good as a lead magnet. Okay. But I usually say I would spend personally up to $1 per email address for a lead magnet. On a giveaway, it'd be no more than 50 cents. Okay. So I would spend upwards of $500 for that email list. And why? Why would I spend that much for an email list? Because I've been doing this for years and I understand the value in the email list. And if you do it properly, if you give them, really good stuff, you educate them, you give them, something that they're going to learn from, but also benefit them, not just learn from, but benefit from. Does it make their day a little bit better? Do they get a little bit further in what they're trying to achieve? And if you do that over time, I've never seen it not work. Meaning, if you nurture the list in a way, and I don't mean nurture where you can't sell them anything. I mean, nurture them in a way that you're only there to serve them, to give them, what they want and what they need. But also you're human about it. You're not a company. You're not a corporation. You're not, sending out these emails that are, totally, businessy. So I would say the biggest thing here for anyone that is listening or watching, if you have an email list of 500 subscribers and you email them at least once a week, if you have your own content, even better, you're going to learn what they want and what they need. And then it's going to make it so much easier for you to sell them something and get that $500 back. And you will. Over the years of having that list, it definitely will pay for itself. All right. But again, you got to understand the whole process, which is what are they signing up for? What are they raising their hand for? And do you have other things that you're going to be able to deliver to them, whether it's content or that content is like a product-based post, which we talk about, where you can, show them, the different products in their niche, right? That are, things that they're going to need and use. That's a blog post that you create, that you send them to. And then if they click on that, there's a good chance that they're going to maybe buy it eventually, or go over to Amazon and buy it there, and you're going to get commission. Like, there's all these different ways. So with the email list, you have an advantage. So I would say in that order, email list, digital product, but I would be thinking about the digital product, even though I am not yet creating it. The lead magnet is kind of like the first part of the digital product. So hopefully that makes sense. You guys got any questions? If you do, I'm going to go ahead and answer those now. Let's see what we got going on here in the chat. I'm going to take a sip of coffee while we're doing that. And guys, if you are listening to this on the podcast and you want to join us on a Friday jam session, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. Make sure you jump on that list. All right. Let's see. Nazar says, great bundle. Thumbs up. Thank you. What's up, Derek? Derek's in the house. All right, cool. Here's one. What is the minimum amount of pages you should aim to have in an ebook for it to be valuable? This is a great question. Okay, there was I forget the whole saying on how this was, but I'll kind of give you my idea of how this whole thing looks, right? There was a guy, let's say, that was let me kind of go back. There was one guy that was in charge of like maintaining this plant. And this plant was producing like millions of dollars like every single day, right? And there was this one guy that was the head of the maintenance. And he knew everything about the system, about how everything ran. If there was ever a problem, he's going to be there to fix it. Now he's getting paid, a yearly salary, but there was this one problem he could not solve. He just couldn't figure it out. Just couldn't do it. So they had to call in another expert from maybe he was a consultant or whatever. And so he comes in, he goes down into the bottom of the plant where everything was kind of running. He went to this one specific area. He got a flathead screwdriver. He went in there and he turned it a quarter of a turn and it fixed everything. And he's like, oh my gosh, it's friggin' awesome. That's great. Wow, you're awesome. He goes, what do we owe you for that? And he said, $10,000. And they're like, well, wait a minute. What do you mean? You just came in here and you went in there and you turned a screw, half a turn. He goes, yeah, but I knew which screw to turn. Right? So that's the big thing that we need to understand. Now, how does this relate to your question? That book can be one page if it delivered a result. Right? Now, I'm not saying you're going to put together a one-page thing, but people get hung up on, well, I need this thing to be 104 pages. No, you don't. It needs to be no fluff. People hate fluff, by the way. If you look at any reviews of books and they start mentioning fluff, it's an opportunity for you to take that, lean it out a little bit, and create something that just gets right to the point, right? In our digital product creation workshop, in our email list building fast track workshop, even in this playbook, I get right to it. There's no, I don't have to prove to you. I don't have to convince you that you should build a digital product because you just joined and you just purchased how to create a digital product. So immediately we're like, boom, let's get started, right? So in one of these, you don't have to fluff. You don't have to add things in there that don't need to be there. Give people the step-by-step or the thing that they're looking for. Give them what they need to do. Now, you do have to sometimes explain why it's important to do these things, but you do not have to think about, I got to create something that's 40 pages because if it's 40 pages, I'm going to be able to charge $9.99. No, it could be 20 pages. As long as it gives them what they're looking for, they're not going to care. And they're actually going to thank you for not wasting their time. Okay, so do not get hung up on that. Do not get hung up on that. Is ebook better to do as your first digital product for everyone? It depends. I'm going to pull a Chris Schaefer here. It depends. And the reason why is because if you're better at writing, then yeah, ebook might be better for you. If you are better on video might be the way to go first. And then you can take that and turn it into an ebook. So I don't think that there's a one size fits all. For me personally, it's easier for me to literally get on here and do this. And I can ramble and I can go in this direction and it might be a little bit, all over the place. And then I can go ahead and have it transcribed. I can hire an editor. They can come in, clean it all up, tighten it all up, get rid of all of the ramblings and get, the points out that I made. That's easier for me. But if you're a good writer or you like it writing, do that or hire someone to do it. Okay. So I just say whatever's easiest for you. An ebook is going to be something you're going to probably create anyway, because if you create something that's a video training, you're going to probably turn that into an ebook. At least you should, because now you have two different things that people can consume or have the option to consume it as. Like this here, we have this as an audio book too. We have this as a downloadable book. We also have a workbook that was created from this. We also have a master shop workshop that I created that was from this, right? It's a 3-hour niche drill down in that. So all of that came from, this ebook came from audio. And then we turned the audio into part of the product. We turned this into the product. And then we got a workbook out of it, which is basically just giving action steps throughout each section. All that stuff can be done as you get that content laid out. And that's what we talk about in the Digital Product Creation Fast Track Workshop, is how to outline everything and how to get it out of the head and out, like on paper or in a video. And then we can start to repurpose that. Let's see. Oh, sip time. Hey, thank you for that. That's what I love about the coffee talks, by the way. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you're going to hear me, or you're going to listen to me, or you're going to hear some silence as I take a sip of coffee. But that's what we do. That's what we do here. All right, Derek. When do you think it's time to remove them from the email list? I wouldn't remove them for a while. If you got a brand new list, you got to give it at least 90 days. And then what you're going to start doing, if you're using ConvertKit, there's a cold subscribers little tab there. And then you can basically say, exclude the cold subscribers. People have not opened your email within 90 days. And then it'll only send to the warm. But then you also want to send to the cold because you want to get them re-engaged if they're not engaged. But I wouldn't start removing anybody yet. Too early in the game. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that yet. What would be a reasonable time to aim to sell your very first product if starting from 0 followers? Well, I mean, I would say it could be as soon as 30 days and it could take you 90 days, right? I'll give you an example on this podcast. I started the podcast. I recorded, what was it? Was it 50 plus episodes? I forget the exact number now. Maybe it was 54. 54 episodes before I made a dime. So let's see. I was doing 3 a week at that time, just like I am now. So, I mean, you're talking weeks, right? That you're doing that before I made a dime. So the reason why I'm saying that is because the stronger, the more trust, the stronger of a relationship that you have with your list, and that takes some time, you're going to be able to sell more stuff, and you're going to do it in a cool way that they're going to want to buy from you. So I see people, they're in a rush to get to money, and I get it. I do get that. And there are ways that we can speed up that process. I mean, a simple way is if you're building that email list, you're getting that front end lead magnet to convert, it's to then start building that digital product in the background, and immediately we would put that on the thank you page. And then we can go ahead and start testing that. You don't even have to offer it to the email list yet, but if you want to, you can. And actually, I just went through this. I recorded a separate training for the digital product creation fast track workshop. It's called Digital Product Profit Maximizer, where I go through this email sequence stacking. And it's basically where you create these little deadline sequences where we put a time deadline on it and a special offer. And that's a way that you can do it right out of the gate if you want to, and still have goodwill with your marketplace. So I would say, to answer your question, is you can do it as soon as 30 days. I don't know how the results will be. It's going to depend on how your content is and how your relationship is with your list. But it can be as soon as 30 days, and it could be up to 90 days. But the only way to make it work is you have to build the list and nurture the list in a way that you're giving value to them, and you're starting to build a relationship. So that's what I would say. What has been your best digital product so far? Why? Worst? Why? Wow, that's a bunch of stuff there. Best digital product so far. You know, I've done a lot. I look at it is it the best I don't look at it as always like the best as far as how much money it's made. I don't look at it that way. If I was to look at that, I would probably say Private Label Classroom did pretty good for a while. Yeah, I would say out of the gate, probably that one. But now these little workshops, these little fast track workshops, they're lighter, meaning I'm not spending, 6-8 weeks creating a course. So I like that better. So as far as like what has been successful, they all kind of have been in their own right. So they all work. So I don't think I would look at one and go, that was a dud. I kind of learned that early on. I've done that in the past, and I don't want to repeat that. That's why I always either pre-sell or I get people to raise their hand, get on a wait list type of thing. And if you guys have been on my list for any period of time, you know how that works, right? So I don't have an exact one that I would point out, other than I like this new model of creating stuff that's light, and I like only focusing on my membership now. And the membership, the Brand Creators Academy, that's like a whole nother thing. And I didn't start there, right? I started with products, and then I led to the membership. Let's see. How do you sell people what they want and give them what they need? That's a great question. You do have to give them what they want and then give them what they need. You're absolutely right. So there is a way to do that. And the way that you would do it is you offer to help them with what they want, but then you start to educate them on why this other thing or this other stuff is important and will help you get what you want. So you have to almost teach it in your lessons and kind of like bake it in a little bit. There's not like a one size fits all there either. But like, so for example, like I wouldn't just create a course on mindset, even though I know that if I just had you go through digital product creation fast track workshop or the email list building fast track workshop, if I just sent you through there, and which a lot of people have already, I know that there's going to be people that are just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. So that's where I need to keep coming on, even these coffee talks, doing these to let you know that the only person that's in control of you doing the work is you. And the only person that is going to be able to make it happen is you. And a lot of that has to do with mindset, with, self-limiting beliefs and like doubts and all of that stuff. But you gotta understand that stuff. So then if I was to just come out with something for mindset, you'd be like, Scott, it's just, there's enough mindset stuff out there. Right. But if I can do this, right, and talk about it here on a coffee talk, however you would do it, then I can still teach you what you need to know, right? What you need to know and what you want, right? Those are two different things. Okay. So hopefully that answered your question. How do you deal with tech overwhelm and getting stuck? One chunk at a time. Where are you stuck? You stuck with Are you stuck with setting up your website? Well, what part of that are you stuck with? Are you stuck with getting your hosting set up? If you are, then we focus on that. Once we get that done, what's the next piece? We got to install our WordPress theme. Okay. Are you stuck there? If you are, how do we get around that? One step at a time. Not, I got to build a website. It's like, what's the first part of that? Getting your domain name. Okay. After that, what is it? Hosting. What's after that? Install your WordPress theme. What's from there? Set up a couple plugins. From there, post your first piece of content. So it's kind of like one step at a time. That's the breakdown. And wherever it is, you might want to write that down and go, that's where I'm stuck. Let's circle it. Focus on that. Okay. One chunk at a time. D, the niche down is so important. Take your time on this. Do not rush this process. Yes, I agree with you, D. And thank you for bringing that up because you're absolutely right. Getting stuck there could hang people, or get people hung up. It's like, we need to really spend some time there, but we also need to make a decision, right? I see people also getting stuck there and they never get out of there, right? So, but I agree. What D is saying is everything else is so much easier once we really get clear on the niche that we're serving. Okay. So I like that. Derek, what do you think about all these Black Friday offers that people are bombarded with and you want to make your offer stand out? Well, sometimes it's not doing it at the same time. Like I even thought about not doing something on Black Friday and doing it like the week before or the week after. But I was like, you know what? I'm throwing something out there because I know that my people, the people that follow, what I do and the people that are here on the Coffee Talks or people that listen to the podcast, I know they want something from me. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it to them. I'm not going to overly promote this. I'm not going to go and run thousands of dollars in Facebook ads to this offer and all of that stuff. I'm not spending all that much time on it, to be honest with you. I'm giving it to people. Here it is. If you want it, great. If not, no big deal. So the way that you stand out, Derek, is you build a good relationship with your email list. And the way that you stand out is they're going to naturally want to open up your email because you always deliver value and you're a good person and you're relatable. Like that's it. That's the winning secret formula. Okay. That's how you stand out. So I don't have to think so much about subject lines as much because it's coming from me. And if it's coming from me, there's going to be people that are going to be like, I don't even care what the subject line is. Scott just emailed me. I want to see what, going on, so that's something to think about there, Derek. And Derek says, I now believe validation should come before content. Thank you. Yes, Derek, you got it. You got it. Right. And the reason why I'm saying that is Derek was on the other day and he was like, I want you to do the content creation fast track workshop because we're talking about doing a couple more. And the one that Derek wanted was the content creation. But then once we talked about the niche validation discovery one that we want to do, that's really one of the most important pieces. Because if we have that and then we map out our content, then we can create our content. We also know what our email list lead magnet will probably be. We probably know what our lead or our digital product could be. We got to get that first piece. That's like stage one is like niche discovery and validation. Okay. And then we move on. But yeah, Derek, I love it. Awesome. Salma, you too. Have a great weekend. Let's see here. Aldo, here from Peru again. What's up? Thank you for stopping in, Aldo. Do you know anything about the Spanish-speaking market? I do not, although I do know that there's probably a great opportunity there for you if you speak Spanish and if you could create products for Spanish-speaking people. I do. I think there's a big opportunity there. So I don't know a lot about the market, but I think people are people. Okay. And people want to buy from people that they know, like, and trust. I think we all agree with that. So what do? You build an email list, you give away value for free or charge something small, build trust over time, find out what they need help with more, sell them what they need help with more. It's literally, that's the formula. That's the formula. All right, guys, I think that is going to wrap up this little Friday jam session. If you guys are listening to this on the podcast and you were not here live, I would invite you. I'd like to invite you. Let me put it that way. I'd like to invite you to join us on our Friday jam sessions or on our Monday, Wednesday coffee talks at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if you want to join us, head on over to takeactioncrew.com, and there you will, you'll go ahead and land on a page that will have a place for you to enter your name and email address. You'll be put on our Take Action Crew list. And then from there, we'll notify you with some cool things we've got planned. And also you will have access to that really awesome player that will allow you to search through all of the coffee talks and give you exactly what you need when you need it. So it'll be a great resource from you or for you. So that's that. If you want to join us over at the Rock Your Brand private Facebook group, head on over to brandcreators.com/RYB, and you can go there and hang out with some cool people. All right. So guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, and I'll see you soon. All right, guys, that is going to officially wrap this up. I just wanted to cut that there. But yeah, so again, little reminder here. We are doing a little special here. But again, very, very loose, very easy, not a big deal. If you go to brandcreators.com/bundle2020, you will have the opportunity to grab our Brand Creators bundle. Now, if you are considering joining Brand Creators Academy, all right, all of this stuff and a lot more is included, as well as our bi-weekly monthly calls that we do. We do some coaching calls there and some hot seat calls we do as well. You get access to those, or you could be in one of those seats. But not everyone is going to be getting that private email over the next few days. So if you have attended one of our workshops or have been one of our playbook customers that have went through that, not everyone will be getting this private link, but there will be a good portion of people that attended the workshops and also anyone that has applied since the last time that we opened Brand Creators Academy. So look for that email. It's going to be coming today. It might have already dropped into your inbox, so check that out. And if you're interested, until this Monday, we will be opening to a private group of people by private invite. So look for that if you're interested. Would love to have you. And actually, we've got a call today at 5 p.m. Eastern time. One of our scheduled calls is actually Thursday, but we moved it to Friday because yesterday was Thanksgiving. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, like I just said, take care, take action, have an awesome, amazing weekend. And if you're hanging any Christmas lights, be careful on those ladders. Those things can be dangerous. Be careful. All right. Take care, guys.